And away we go.
Okay, so how was your week so far?
Alright?
Yeah, honestly, mine's was pretty good too, up and down. It's whatever. Anyways, so what is in the news today?
Alright. I've heard so much news about the assisted dying bill passing
Which
in
one?
the UK. There's a bill passed in the House of Commons in the UK about legalizing assisted dying or assisted unaliving.
Assistant unaliving. Why would anyone want to legalize that?
Well, I've heard discussions that in the event that there are people with an illness that may not have a cure and they don't have much time to be alive, they thought maybe I might as well end my life here because
I mean,
there's no cure and I'm gonna go up into wherever I'm gonna go anyway, so may as well as get out the way. That's one argument people would make.
look. I get it, but it's like at the same time, like, bro, at least die gracefully. Die in front of your family, friends. Like, at least die in front of the people you love. Don't just end it all there. Do what you got to do. Do what you have to do. I don't know. Take the time to really just reflect on life. Because here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. One time I was sick, and I don't know why, but I was thinking it was. I was pretty much thinking it was the end. You know what I did? Pretty much I did. I spent the most of my money on food because I said, Actually, no. I didn't really think it was the end. I just didn't. Probably didn't care because it's like I got sick, and I'm like, I never gotten sick, so I was just concerned, and then I just spent the most of my money on what I wanted to spend it on. And yeah, because it's like you seem to. This it's like when you're sick or just like when you're about to die, you seem like you don't care about most things. Assistant dying is crazy though. I mean, why would anybody want to assistantly die? Like, I know that there is no cure for it or anything, but the least you can do is have faith. I don't know. Have faith that something can pop up. Otherwise, it's like, bro, your life has no meaning. Even when you're still alive, your life has no meaning to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean that's just sad. Assistant dying bill. It's kind of funny, but not the dying part. It's just the fact that they're making a bill part out of it that's kind of funny, but it's also pretty sad because it's like the very fact that people want to end their lives then and there just because there's no cure for anything. Like just means that then they just don't care anymore. They don't value their life. They don't even know. They probably don't even know where they're gonna go when they die because there are people who believe in nothing rather than something, but I can really make the argument that they believe in something, but it's probably something that can easily be, you know, something temporary. And, they just put all their faith in the physical, but not the spiritual, which is really sad. It's like I personally wouldn't want to go out that way. Like, I'm probably not going to depict how I would want to go out, but I would know that I would like to go out knowing that I at least did something good. I mean, it's like the least you can do is go out with grace and with dignity, not just say, well, that's it for my life. It's been fun. Bye. That's just sad.
Yeah, there's so much time you have left. And besides, I'm not saying you should do it or do it intentionally, but in the event that you are going through something and there may not be certainty if you're going to live a few more years, you can make the best to go on a couple of rides at a theme park or at least enjoy the rest of your whatever life you have left doing what you like doing. Then okay, I'm good with what I want to do, my time being alive. I
Yeah,
think my
yeah,
time has naturally come.
I would say that if you have faith, at least pray that you can live for another couple of months, and then, do something good during those couple of months. Don't be selfish, or just pray, or just at least pray that you can live. You'll be able to beat whatever is going on inside of you. Whether if it's a life threatening disease or cancer, does not matter. Or ask for a couple more months, or just ask to live longer than what you're living. But the least you can do is do good with that life. I mean, if you want to do degeneracy, that's your business. But for the most part, I say if you're gonna die, just do something good. Make someone's day.
Exactly.
I mean, but like, for the most part, it's just assistant dying. You're just gonna give it up like that. I mean, like, pretty much, it's like it's as bad as like a depressed person wanting to commit suicide. It's just bad. It's just it's as bad because it's like both see life as useless or both don't see a purpose in living. Actually, no, one knows that they're gonna die, but just wants to make it. Just wants to like do it quickly, and the other one just doesn't see a purpose in living. So it's like I say they're both equally as bad, and like they just both need to like just stop then and there. But you know that's pretty much that's pretty much like my opinion on it. It's like you shouldn't. I don't think if I knew I was gonna die, granted I would be depressed. I'm not gonna lie, I would be depressed. But I don't know. I would try to live the last of my days doing something with my family. I don't know.
Indeed.
I don't know. I'd want to die in front of. I don't know. I'd want to die at least with my loved ones in the room and just know where I'm going. And then then officially walk into the light. That's pretty much how I see it. Or at least that's how I see it when I'm an old man. It's like I want to be with my family, friends, and kids, grandkids, etc. And then after that, walk into the light because I think that's the best way to go. In front of your family, probably your friends if they outlive you, or just family. Doesn't matter. But regardless, it's like at least it's just better to go out with dignity and with grace.
Exactly.
But yeah, for the most part, I hope they don't pass the bill because like that's just it's crazy. It's a crazy.
Well, yeah, about that.
They
That
pass.
bill is already passed in the House of Commons. Well, at least in the House of Commons it's been passed. It's now gone to the House of Lords. They need to pass it, and if that's the case, then it's officially into law in the UK.
I still don't have any idea what makes people want to assistantly kill themselves. I mean, despite the diseases and all that stuff, I still don't get it. And life threatening stuff. I mean, like, would you want to? I don't know. I mean, don't give me. It's not even justifiable if you don't have any family. It's like do something good, give back to the community, do something with that time you have. I mean, be humble. You're just gonna go out prideful. You're just gonna go out saying life is useless. Don't get me wrong. Now life in a way is useless because it's like, look, you live, you fulfill your heart's desires, and then you die. So in a way, yeah, life is pretty useless, but at the same time, make use of that life. I don't know, fulfill the career you want to fulfill, get closer to God. That's really all you really got to do, and I think that to me that's a life worth living. And for the most part, I'd say, yeah, it's like, but yeah, other than that, I don't see a purpose I don't see that much of a purpose in life, besides doing what you got to do to pay the bills and survive in the next coming years because we don't really know what's coming. We don't really know what's coming up next with President Trump or any other president after Trump. But yeah, just don't be depressed all the time. I,
Exactly.
I had to learn that. I had to learn that the semi. I would say hard way, but not that hard. Just semi hard way. You know, try to find the meaning in life.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. What else is in the news? Actually, one thing's in the news. Apparently, Elon is the new foreman for the
Uh,
Is he?
I don't know. It's part of something.
Honestly, I don't. Honestly, I really don't know.
Oh, it's something about the world. No, the NWO.
Or World Economic, not NWO.
Something regarding the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, something. Yeah, something like that. I don't really know, but if he is, it wouldn't surprise me.
The New World Order. NWO for sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look, we all knew this. We knew
That's
it from the start, and well, we don't have much of a choice. We'll try we'll try we can to not be part of the game, or better yet, if we were going to be part of the game, at least create a system where everyone wins.
I would say there can't. I would say that's the thing with the game. Not everyone can be a winner. Otherwise, it's like you know they would because if everybody can be a winner, everybody would be rich, and if everybody is rich, then there has to be a certain group of people. Not that I'm gonna want to play the game, but that's just pretty much the reality of the game. If it wasn't the reality of the game, it would not be called the game.
We need ups and downs.
Pretty much, you need certain people in certain positions, when it comes to the game. So it's like, you need poor people, you need rich people, you need like people who are in the middle, or people who are probably way more. I don't think there's anybody more poor than poor people. I would say, yeah. No, I mean, when I was thinking of poor, I was thinking of like, at least someone with a house. I guess a person who's extremely poor is like, just a homeless person, but that's about it. I would say the only way to escape the game, possibly, is to, I don't know, live on the land, live off the grid, give up technology. Actually, that is the only way. Live like a hermit. That's the only way you can like get out of the game. But even still, you'll be part of it regardless, because it's like,
Yeah.
you still kind of rely on the society that you live in, unless you're gonna go full on farmer and grow your own stuff. But other than that, it's like, if you don't want to be part of the game, I guess that's a way to get out of it. It's like you got to give up everything. I mean everything, every like electronic that you own, everything. I mean, unless you're gonna put all the electronics in one room specifically to contact the outside world. But other than that, it's like, yeah, that's just the game. Not everyone can win, unfortunately. It'd be great if we all could, but
Or at least not everyone can win all at the same time.
yeah, I mean, not everyone can win all at the same time. Because if it was that easy, then you probably wouldn't have the problems that we have today.
Yeah.
Other than people just looking at money as an idol.
And also, we wouldn't learn from anything.
That's true. We also wouldn't learn, which is which is the problem too. It's like, there has to be obstacles in the game. It's either you make it or you don't, or you semi make it. Pretty much, people have their own definitions of making it. It's like, people have their own definitions of making it in this life, whether it's having a family, having a stable household, having a wife and a couple of kids. People have their own definitions of making it. Anyways, yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's like you can't necessarily say you made it. I mean, a celebrity, yeah, they can definitely say that they made it because like they're atop of the totem pole above everybody else. But they had to do certain things in order to get to the top of that totem pole. But other than that, they're at the top of the totem pole.
Yes, they are.
So I say, like, they're in this life above everybody else, but in the next life they won't be above anybody. They won't be above me. They won't be above you, because honestly, no one is above God. I mean, yeah, it's like, you can be worshipped as a god in this life, and you can feel the praise of men until their praise stops. But ultimately speaking, it's like the matter of the fact is like everyone's praise will stop, which is why it's like if I were to ever become famous, it's like, look, I'll I'll accept the praise, but I'll just tell you, like, look, I'm not worth praising. Probably just leave it all in the probably just like, leave it all in the past, go off the grid. It's like, people remember me for something spectacular other than just celebrity drama. That'd be great. Pretty much, if I was remembered fondly as MLK, or just even Malcolm X for preaching like, like a good message, a true good message. Well, Malcolm X, not all of his messages were true, the Muslim aspect of them, but most of what he was saying about race was like, it was true around that time. And like, other problems he was preaching about, they were true, except the Muslim aspect of it. That's
Yes.
about
Yes. People can be right about one thing, and could also be right about another thing, but that doesn't mean they're right about everything that they say.
Yeah. I mean, I would say like, that's the reason why they saw him as like, this all in all great guy, because like, what he was most of what he was preaching, I would say at least 90% of what he was preaching around that time was true. Same with MLK. Same with Gandhi. I guess I forgot what Gandhi's message. All I remember about Gandhi is that like, he went on a hunger strike or something for like some reason. I can't remember. Pretty much, it's like all these prominent figures had something true that they were preaching, but ultimately speaking, they had some aspects of them where it's like, it was just wrong. I'm not even just talking about religious either. It's like, there are certain things that some people say were right. They were like, okay, this is kind of, and there are certain aspects of them where they were saying it's wrong. And most, and like some people didn't agree with it. Even Hitler. It's like, there were certain aspects of what he was doing that was right, and there were certain aspects that what he was doing that was wrong, which was like, killing people. That in of itself, killing people in of itself is wrong, regardless of race, regardless of like religion or race or etc. etc. But yeah, it's like everyone has a right and wrong aspect to them, But I'd say for the most part, yeah. As far as the game goes, yeah, there needs to be winners and there needs to be losers, or there needs to be semi-winners and semi-losers. But to put it all like straightforward, winners, losers. Can't be semi anything unless you can somehow make that happen. But other than that, winners and losers.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I wish everyone
So
could. I wish everyone could win, but just everyone can't win.
that's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, unless we're all in the same like boat, I guess we can all win. Like if we were all equally poor, then yeah, we can all. We'd probably all. We'd be. There wouldn't even be a winner and loser. We'd all be in an equal playing field, for the most part. I mean, we really would, because it's like no one is winning and no one is losing. I mean, some of us may have a better day than like each other, like some days, but like for the most part, no one is winning or losing. We're all on an equal playing field. But yeah, it's like in some third world countries, there aren't any winners or losers. Because they're all equal. They're all equally poor, unless there's someone who's a diamond in a dozen, who's a diamond in the rough. Somehow they make it out. Other than that, that's about it. But yeah, it's like what else is there?
So I came across an account on Instagram Reels making videos about how great this city, Goiânia in Brazil, how great it is, and how clean and safe, and how it's comparable to Florida, that is, as he says. And I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't argue. I have family that live in that city. That's not the reason why I'm so interested in it. It's just every year, or at least most of the time when I was young, when I visit family in Goiânia in Brazil, there had never been issues in that city that you would see in other major cities in Brazil, like Sao Paulo or Rio de Janeiro. Whatever the issues people say there are in Brazil, and I know there are issues in Brazil, like crime, homicide rates, and possibly murder as well.
Yeah.
I never witnessed nor heard such incidences in Goiânia in my entire life that I've ever been there. Only one time I've heard a gunshot and a woman screaming, but that was it. That was the only time there was some kind of event that would prove the point about how Brazil is as a whole. But otherwise, that city in Brazil, Goiânia, is mostly safe, mostly clean, and the people are mostly friendly. And actually, there's actually a hand, I find this surprising. Last time I visit Brazil, Goiânia, there's a handful of people that were fluent in speaking English. There's this one shopping center where one of the girls that worked at a clothing store, she spoke perfect English. It's amazing. So English fluency, at least in the state of Goiás, is incredible from how I've seen it. And it's not just because most of my family got to learning or try to practice speaking English at least when my dad and my mum came visited the city in the 90s. I think it's starting to spread to other people outside of my Brazilian family circle. So English fluency, at least in the state of Goiás, is really taking off, and possibly in other places in Brazil, especially Sao Paulo and Rio, because, well, that's already a thing to have people speaking English in those states for years.
Hmm. Well, I mean, that's great to hear. Like, the English is spreading in like the city of Goyam. You said,
Goya,
Goya,
Goiânia,
Goiânia,
Goiânia. That's
Goyan,
yes,
Goyandia.
yes, Goiânia.
Okay,
It's a funny sounding name, but
it
yeah,
is.
that's how it is.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like the city sounds like this. That city sounds like amazing too. It sounds really safe. And yeah, Florida. What were they trying to do? Compare the safety of Florida and Brazil?
Yeah, he's saying that the safety, the environment is comparable to Florida because there's palm trees, and yes, there are palm trees.
So
But yeah, but I think there are other comparisons you can make to Guyana besides Florida. But that's just the common go-to that that man that made those videos was making. And I mean, yeah, he's right. I got it. There's no arguing that the Guyana and state of Florida, they're comparable in those aspects. But of course, there's other things like the amount of green space. Like there are so many parks in Guyana than a lot of cities in Brazil. Talking at least in terms of green space, I think I'd say somewhere the not it's not exactly, but it's close to being as friendly in green spaces as somewhere in the Lake District, which is like in the north of England.
huh? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so ve- they're very environmentally friendly.
I mean, hey, that's great to hear. I mean, all the environmentalist people in the United States would be very happy to hear that.
Yes, they will.
That I don't know what they're called, environmentalists, like activists, whatever they're called. I don't care. Anyways, yeah, they'd be very happy to hear that. And
Yes.
even the ones in the U in the
Yeah, possibly.
possibly. All right. What else is in the news?
Bitcoin surpasses the Great British Pound to become the fifth largest currency in the world.
Wow, Bitcoin is that popular, huh?
Yes.
You know,
And people say that cryptocurrency is a scam. Okay, I can't argue about cryptocurrencies in general being a scam, but I can argue about Bitcoin at least, because
mm,
I mean, if Bitcoin as a currency is now the fifth largest currency in the world, how can you say it's a scam if that many people are using Bitcoin to the point it's in the top five most used biggest currencies in the world?
I have no idea personally, and I would say it depends on who's promoting it. That determines whether if it's a scam or not. Like for instance, if it's a celebrity who just does a pump and dump, tells you to buy it, then you buy it, and then and then it loses it loses
Value.
yeah its value quickly. Then yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you're pretty dumb for buying that, especially from a celebrity who thinks about nothing but making money. So that's pretty much your fault. I would say in terms of Bitcoin, I don't think it's a scam. In fact,
Yeah,
I heard that Bitcoin went up when Trump got elected.
yeah. Although I will argue actually that I've paid close attention to the trajectory of Bitcoin. Even if Donald Trump didn't become president and it was Kamala instead, Bitcoin would still go up because I looking at the pattern Bitcoin had, like once every 4 years, there's like halving of how much Bitcoin is rewarded per user, per mining rig. Bitcoin was still bound to increase in value after the US presidential election.
I would say, well, regardless, people would have been making money off of it. So I mean, it just is what it is at the end of the day. It'd be kind of funny though if Bitcoin went down though.
Yeah, but
If
it happens
Bitcoin,
to a lot of currencies.
yeah,
It's going to go down, but it'll go back up again
that's
in,
true.
in tremendous fashion too.
I heard a lot of people made a lot of money off of crypto.
Yes, including me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of my sister's friends tried to make money off of crypto as well, but you know, it is what it is though. I'd say Bitcoin it's not terrible. It's like you just really got to know how to maneuver it and just use it pretty much. If you don't know how to use it, just if you're willing or able, just probably do some research, make sure you it's safe, which it most likely is. You just got to worry about it going down, but other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say for the most part, it's pretty safe for the most part. I try. I tried it at one. I tried it at one point. Can't remember how much I made, but probably wasn't much because I can't remember. But it was, but or I didn't make any. Either way, But it's like it is what it is at the end of the day. Crypto. I don't think Bitcoin is terrible. It seems like it's gonna be. It seems like it's gonna be around for a very long time, and just gotta get used to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, because like, shoot, sooner or later we're gonna be the. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of crazy though. We're really gonna be the generation that knows how to use the internet. We're really gonna be the old generation that knows how to use the internet. Isn't that kind of? Isn't that kind of crazy sometimes? Doesn't
Yeah,
that?
it does.
Yeah, it's like, you think about it, doesn't that sound crazy? We're soon gonna be old heads that we know how to use the internet. Meanwhile, our parents before us, they didn't really know how to use the internet because and the only ways that they do know how to use it is by them either learning themselves or them learning from their kids. It's gonna be kind of crazy though. I mean, well, what are our kids gonna teach us then?
Well, some kind of new technology that doesn't exist yet.
And probably some type of new lingo or something. Be like, I don't get you kids.
Yes, like, yo, what up, Strayo? WAWA.
Oh,
I'm making stuff up.
yeah, no, that's what's probably gonna be the lingo in a couple years.
Yeah,
So
but maybe in the next couple of decades, that somehow makes sense. Like, that's literally the slang that the youth would be talking those days.
they're probably gonna try to make a slang, some slang with Diddy and baby oil or something.
No, there's no way.
Yo, why you diddying on me, bro? What? Oh,
No, 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 no.
oh, that sounds weird. Okay.
Why?
I
Why?
don't know where I was going with that. Well,
Anyway,
okay. I was trying to think of another one.
been there, done that, moving on.
No, I'm not gonna say that. All right, yeah, moving on.
Fair enough. Alright. Travis Kelce celebrates fellow NFL star Josh Allen's engagement to Haley Steinfeld. Congratulations.
Haley Stein. Who is that? A model? An actress?
I don't know.
Haley Steinfeld. Huh.
I don't know why that name sounds so familiar.
It kind of does, right? That's what I was thinking too. It sounds a little familiar, but it's like I'm not familiar with the person.
Yeah.
Where have we heard that before?
It's really right on the nose.
I got nothing.
Neither do I.
Okay. Anyways, congratulations, Haley Steinfeld, for your
Engagement.
Yeah, engagement. All right.
Yahoo.
For the football player, I don't know who you are. I don't watch football, but congratulations, regardless.
Neither do I. At least I don't watch that football.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah. It's like I just don't watch it in general. But so I'd probably watch it socially, but that's about it. But other than that, congratulations on your wedding. Make sure to not get as people say effed over. Make sure to keep your assets safe.
And always prepare for the worst, just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Always prepare for the worst because the worst is probably going. Well, I'm not praying for that, but it's like the worst will probably come. Probably watch out for your the wife and but other than that, I hope you guys have more years together.
Yes.
Even though I don't know who any of you guys are.
Good for you, though.
Yeah, good for you. All right. Who else? Or what else?
Study highlights the health risk of PM 2.5 exposure for pregnant women.
Huh. Wait. What are the health exposures of pregnant women?
PM 2.5.
I have no idea what that is or what that means.
So, it's kind of like some kind of particles that flies in the air, which, okay, so the summary, the tiny pollutants emitted by fossil fuel combustion and wildfires may be raising the risk of adverse birth outcomes. A study has found exposure to fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, can cause higher inflammation levels in pregnant people, potentially causing negative impacts to their children, according to the study.
Huh. Well, that's an interesting study. I've never really heard that before.
Yeah.
And it's a new study too.
Yeah, they say it's a new study.
Well, I'll be honest. Well, we need to get more research into it to make sure, like, if it's true or false. But for the most part, if
Yeah.
it's affecting pregnant women, that's like that's very unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I hope the kids don't get affected by like whatever is whatever could potentially be in the air. But if we've learned anything from 2020, is that like we shouldn't believe everything that is told to us. So it's like
Yes.
they could legitimately be lying for all we know.
Yeah.
So I'd say for the most part, just test it out, make sure like nothing is in the air, nothing is happening, and then like we'll pretty much just be fine from then and there. But I'd say like yeah, you should not trust everything you hear. You should always fact check it to make sure that their information is accurate because who knows, like they might be getting paid by the higher ups, might, and I say might with quotations, might
Might.
be getting paid by like a power a power that is higher than them. Well, not high. Well, slightly higher. I can't say higher because they're not higher than the Most High God.
Or of
But
someone of more influential authority.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay. That's a good way to say it. Someone of more influential authority than them to be putting this out there. They might have even gotten paid a big like money check too to like spread this information. So always keep on the lookout. I mean, you know, and for the most part, always just be prepared for the worst. Prepare yourself for the worst always, because the worst is always bound to come whenever you least expect.
Indeed.
But yeah, what else is there?
Why Arnold Schwarzenegger's home was bombarded by police on Thanksgiving.
Huh, that is weird. Why? What?
Yes.
Why was his home bombarded on Thanksgiving?
Arnold Schwarzenegger's LA home was swarmed by police on Thanksgiving Day after a prankster claimed a bomb had been placed in his mailbox.
Wait a minute. So his home was bombarded because of something that could have been placed in his mailbox?
Yes.
But it was in his mailbox. What sense does that make?
I have no idea.
Were they trying
Like,
to look for the controls to the bomb? Like, what were they trying to do?
well, something had to do with a prankster putting something in the mailbox, like a bomb. But yeah, that's all we know roughly.
Well, I hope his family's okay. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like anybody got hurt.
Yeah, it didn't go off, thankfully. Oh, I hope it didn't go off.
Was there actually a bomb?
Yeah, like, a prankster claims a bomb had been placed in his mailbox.
I don't see the point in going in the man's house then, unless they're looking for other bombs.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but regardless, I'm glad everyone is safe. If it was an actual bomb, because it says it was from a prankster, so who knows? It might have just been a paint bomb for all we know. It might have just probably been a paint bomb. Who knows? But either way, I'm glad everyone is safe.
Yeah, they didn't say what kind of bomb it is.
They just said
So,
bomb.
yeah,
Shoot, it could have been a confetti bomb.
possibly, but yeah. Hearing the bomb is like, oh my gosh, from your lives, it's like a life-threatening situation. So
Yeah. Speaking of which, how old is Arnold Schwarzenegger? Like in his
I think it should be in the 70s.
man, I'm not gonna lie. It's like every time when you hear the name Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't know. For some reason, I don't imagine a guy in his 70s.
Mm,
I don't know. Must be it must simply be the name. I'm not really sure, 100% sure, but I say like if no one died, if no one got hurt, then it's not. I don't see it as a big deal. Especially if it was a fake bomb. But for the most part, they move on, and Arnold Schwarzenegger lives more life, and may God bless him with more life, up to 100 and something. But yeah. Anything else in the news for all we know?
yes. Let's see. Ex-Meta crypto chief David Marcus says there was no legal or regulatory angle for the government to kill its Libra project, and quote, it was 100% a political kill.
Wait, so what's this about?
So, David Marcus, ex-Meta crypto chief, says there was no legal or regulatory angle for the government to kill its Libra project, and quote, it was 100% 100% a political kill, end quote, how Libra was killed. I never shared this publicly before, but since Kamarka opened the floodgates on Joe Rogan's pod, it feels appropriate to shed more light on this. As a reminder, Libra, then Diem, was an advanced, high-performance, payments-centric block.
There's definitely some interesting information. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, as interesting cryptocurrencies are, I'm not gonna defend it because I know there's so much that people may not know, and if something does happen, I think it comes down to the fact that we just don't know much about it. And once we know enough about it, we know the risk that has to be taken and how to avoid said risks.
You know what I've noticed?
What?
You do be careful of what you say, which is smart.
Yes.
Which is actually pretty smart because, like, with what you want to do, it's like, you can't risk anything. So I'd say
Yeah,
I say that's really smart. And, like, you can't risk anybody or anything, like, taking your words out of context.
exactly.
I'll be honest, I don't know if Risk noticed that, but, like, during, like, these past few podcasts, I've definitely noticed that as well.
Exactly.
Huh. Smart.
And also, if I do fly off the handle, they're just going to give me a slap on the wrist because they know that they need me. Throughout my whole life, I never needed anyone to get to where I want to be or where I am today. They needed me. So, yes, I am careful with my words so people don't take me out of context, but even if I do go off the handle, that do give the higher-ups an opportunity to take my words out of context. They can't do too much to me, because if so, who are they going to get to push forward with their message, ideas, and whatnot? And I don't agree with what people are saying, but the thing is, I'm gonna go along with it. Not because I want to, but simply because there isn't much choice. And also, I'm pretty much bored. So I might as well as have fun, go off, whatever, and just go with the flow.
Uh,
And maybe I can take some information from whatever they're planning, and maybe if they try to pull a fast one on me, I'll do it back to them. Because,
I like how you said I'm pretty much bored.
yes,
It boils down to that.
exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like what I said in the past will come back to haunt me, and it will probably not get me certain jobs that I would want. But at the end of the day, I'd be a little upset. But I'm like, I did it to myself. This is
But,
this. Yeah,
but here's the thing, Eric. You need to question them. They can't just not give you whatever opportunities based on your opinions or whatever you've said in the past. You really have to question them. Like, why is it a deal that what I'm saying impacts my job or my opportunities? How is it that the words that I say have any power over you? And they're not going to give that in. People don't want to be controlled by some form of opinions. If you talk to them, you question them and make it out like they are giving power to what you are saying and your opinions, I am certain they're not going to admit it, like they always do. They aren't going to admit it, but they are going to do what they can to make it look like that whatever you're saying does not have power over them, and they'll try to say, "Oh no, I'm not too concerned with what you're saying. It's just that, well, this and that." And now I call that bullcrap. And also, and I'm not always on the ball looking at policies and what people are saying, but it's important that if you ever talk on anything you may have an opinion about, it's important to not just get an insight of what you already agree with, but also have an insight on what you may disagree with, and a couple of concerns and questions you may have for what you disagree with. Because that's the thing. The reason why so many people have the platforms that they have and invoke the emotions to the people, it's all reactionary. People do not question what a lot of people are saying. They just listen and just go with it. They never question it. I plan to question it, and I will continue to question things, even if trying to make it difficult for me. I'm not gonna let them get the best of me. I know the game. I've been there many times, and I know exactly how to deal with situations like that.
When you put it like that, it definitely sounds pretty. It definitely sounds better to question things rather than just just sit back and do nothing. I'd say I would say risk questions more things than me, but it's like I question some things. I would say for the most part, if I were to work for a company like let's say WWE, that's probably why I would say my job would possibly be at risk because I believe anything else I can probably say I disavow, but it's like when it comes to the biblical standard, it's I'm sorry, if you disagree, if my coworkers disagree with it, or if anybody else disagrees with it, I can't disavow. That's probably the only thing I would not be able to disavow. Everything else I would be able to disavow, because you know, things I probably said about a specific race that I can see why it would be detrimental to other people, to other people or to those people, because it's like because I'd be assuming that it's just all of them, which I know it's not. It's a group of people, but it's I don't really know who happen to fit the description, but that doesn't mean it's all of them. But even if they fit that description, I would just consider them as people who I disagree with, who I don't believe is doing right by the world and only doing right by themselves, instead of right by the Lord, like the Lord our God, the Lord Jesus Christ, and anybody else. So yeah, I'd say if anything were to go against the biblical standard, that's the only thing I'd say. I'm sorry, I can't disavow that. Even if it's something that the LGBTQ community would disagree on, you know gayness being an abomination to God. I'm like, that's just simply a belief. I mean, that doesn't mean I hate the person. That just means I disagree with the lifestyle. But I don't have to hate a person to disagree with their lifestyle. Just like a person doesn't have to hate me. Doesn't have to hate me to disagree. Doesn't have to hate me to disagree with my way of living. I can like you as a person, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with you. Even politically too. I can like you as a person, but that doesn't mean I have to like you know hate you because of your views. We view the world differently. I view the world from from a biblical standard, from from God's lens. You view the world from your own lens, and that's just about it, for the most part. But yeah, I could say other things. I don't mind. I don't mind apologizing for if if it hurts people. But other than that, if it involves the biblical standard, then I can't apologize for that. I'd probably have to I'd probably have to lose my job then. It's either that or I lose my job, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm losing my job then. Who cares? But that's just me. That's just honestly me. That's just honestly my sense and my perspective at the end of the day. And yeah, also as for yeah, it's I definitely do try to watch what I say. It's once again, I think Risk is way worse than me. He's more opinionated than Risk talks like a man who has nothing to lose, because it's
Yeah,
because it's you would have a lot to lose, because it's you have a plan in a set plan for your life and for what you want to do. From a worldly view, yes, I have some to lose, but at the end I don't really have much to lose. But Risk, he speaks like a man who has literally nothing to lose at all. I mean, he works, he does his job. He wants to probably like meet a nice person. If it's if it's faithy, it's faithy. If it's someone else, it's someone else. And like to settle down, have kids, and like tell them about the truth of the world, and pass it down, and hopefully they can make a difference. That's how I see Risk. And, in his trench jacket, in his trench coat.
So true.
Yeah. What do you think about Risk?
Yeah, I definitely agree. He's very firm and strong on his views, and yeah, I also see Risk as the kind of guy that really likes looking into the history of things. Like, when I say things, I'm talking a lot of things. Talking about the geopolitical side, the Rothschilds, he likes that one, and of course, his admiration to bring the British Empire back and make the United Kingdom be a 51st US state, or at least some form like that.
I would say, man, that'd be pretty cool though. It would.
Yeah,
I would say, like, yeah, for the most part, I mean, Risk is very passionate. I would say, like, if he could probably be like the what do you guys have? Like the he could be a governor. He could be a governor of some sort of his
yeah, I
state.
think, yeah, last time I remember, he, I think we talked about trying to run for office, and even though Risk may not be eligible to run for president, he can run as state governor if he's lived in a state long enough and also meets the other criteria, one of them including actually being a US citizen and also a registered voter in the state in which you want to be a governor for. I think he said that, good to know that if I want to become governor of Alabama after living there for 7 years, I think he said something along those lines when we mentioned that in one episode. So, yeah, I am certain Risk would like to be a governor. More specifically, likely, Alabama, because Alabama is a Republican-friendly state.
That's true. Also, I would say if I were to run for president, I'm gonna be honest, I probably wouldn't get it. I probably wouldn't get it. It's like I don't know. It's like I have the views, the way I view the world, the way that I view like life in general is from the lens of God. It's from the biblical standard. So like pretty much I can't necessarily say that I know that I would have some support, but I don't think it would be enough support for me to get into office. And on top of that, it's like I don't know. It's like I feel like if I did somehow get into office, the suits would you know tell me do this, otherwise we'll threaten your life. We'll threaten your life and kill you, and this and that, etc. Like I genuinely believe that some people. I'm starting to kind of believe that, like and I'm not. I'm assuming. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe Trump's assassination was possibly staged. I'm not sure. It just seemed like that. And I do believe that when someone really goes against the mold of what their plan is for the world and what in the game that they're playing, someone genuinely dies because of like, you're going against the mold. Okay, we'll put a bullet in your head. Or okay, we'll do this and that, etc. to you. Or like, threaten your life. And if you could like pretty much it's like, I don't know if it's part of the game and those people are just meant to die, but you know, maybe like when it comes to certain people though, they just get taken out of the game so like they don't disrupt the plans of like, what they're actually doing or spoil what is to come in the next couple of years. Because I've noticed that like I believe with John McAfee they did that. It's like, he like pretty much said everything. He said that he spilled the truth and then they killed him.
Yeah,
And it's like yeah, it's like I'd say if I would say the way Risk talks. If he's somewhere in power and he talks like that, they will probably try to threaten him. But I don't think Risk is necessarily afraid of like dying, because I think he said something along the lines, at least I would have died knowing that I told the truth, or something like that.
yeah, I think that sounds like something you would have said already.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to be put in a position like to be in a position like this, in a position of influence where you want to just tell the truth, you can't be afraid of dying. That's the thing. And when people do tell the truth and they get threatened once, they're afraid of dying. It's like, why would you even tell me the truth if you're not willing to die on that truth?
Yep.
Not that I want them to die, but it's like, when it comes to certain things, yes, you will probably get your life threatened. So you got to be prepared to, like, take a bullet. You just have to be prepared for that. I think if I was president too, running for president at least, and I had all the people in one place, I would need some bulletproof glass or something, like all the time, 24/7, with a bulletproof vest, probably with a helmet too. Be like, my fellow American, I am your president, Eric Taylor. I got you talking in the helmet like that. And the reason why I'm wearing this thing is because I'm taking the repercussions in case someone tries to come after my life. Like last week.
Last week. Not frequently.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's that frequently, then yeah, I'd be paranoid, but I wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course.
good point. I can't argue with that.
Shoot, I mean, they pretty much tried to poison Malcolm X at one point too, with poisonous food, but he survived somehow. I forgot what he was doing. That's what I heard. They tried to poison the guy, but he somehow survived. But like, for the most part, yeah, it's like, if they're coming after me that frequently, I'm gonna be paranoid. I'm gonna have some like bulletproof glass and hopefully some brave security guards who are willing to protect. Yeah, they'd be standing outside of the glass though. They'd have, actually no, they'd be wearing protection too. I wouldn't want them to die either. Not on my watch. Cause I don't want anybody to die really. Not unless it's like natural causes or whatever. But other than that, not based off what I say. And I don't even think people would want to even be my bodyguard. So I'd have to pretty much just go on stage by myself with, people, with them protected on, like, with bulletproof glass and all that. But that's just me. Yeah, it's like, you gotta die on the truth. And whether if it's true or false, you gotta die for what you believe in. But that's just what I believe in. That's personally what I believe. And I think you kind of believe that as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Exactly.
So is there anything else in the news?
Let's see. Volkswagen, before warning strikes, end of the peace obligation.
The peace obligation?
Yeah. Work stoppages are now possible in the wage dispute with VW with a demonstrative action. IG Metall has pointed out at the end of the peace obligation.
Huh. Wow. I mean, well, what ended the peace obligation? Like just based off of the work stoppages?
I have to look into it because they are not very clear what they're saying at the moment.
It's not very clear.
No, that's all they've. The brief description is all they said. So it's very.
Well, that was underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it, but what are you on about?
Exactly. It's like, well, what are you guys on about exactly? It's like, give us context.
Alright, here we go. According to infraken.de, Europe's largest car manufacturer, Volkswagen, the signs point to warning strikes, with a symbolic ringing of a bell. The IG Metall trade union in Wolfsburg demonstratively signaled the end of the peace obligation and thus set the course for industrial action. According to media reports, the first warning strikes at VW sites could take place as early as this Monday. The frustration amongst the workforce is great, quotations, said Works Council Chairwoman Danielle Cavallo. The possibility of warning strikes now provides an outlet to, quote, to let off steam. She is therefore expecting a great response when the first actions are scheduled, said Cavallo. IG Metall spoke of around 300 participants in the symbolic action in the evening.
So this is pretty much dang, I forgot the word. So this is pretty much a rebellion or just some kind of protest?
I think it's just a strike. It sounds like a strike.
Yeah, okay, that's the word I was looking for. I thought it was Yeah, it just sounds pretty much it just sounds like a strike for the most part. Well, all I can really say is this. Power to the people. Whoever's in the right, hope they win. whoever's in the wrong, hope they either get back to work or concede to the demands of the people.
Exactly.
I really just don't have any pinpoint opinion about this. I just hope whoever is right gets what they want. Whoever's wrong, well, concedes. All right. So, what else in the news? If there's anything else.
Yes, there is.
Wait, hold on. Over Xing cotton comments.
Xinjiang cotton comments.
Xinjiang.
Yeah, Xinjiang.
Oh, Xinjiang.
Xinjiang, yeah.
Is that the name of someone?
No, Xinjiang is the name of the region in China.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Fast Retailing's chief executive, Tadashi Yanai, stated Uniqlo was, quote, not using cotton from Xinjiang during a BBC interview. After the interview, users of Weibo called for a boycott of Uniqlo over Yanai's comments, expressing distrust towards the brand.
So pretty much,
Yana,
there's
go
no
on,
using cotton.
go on. Yeah, something about cotton. It sounds like he said something about, from what I'm hearing is, he said something about cotton, and people just not like it, just not liking it one bit.
Like, bro, when I hear cotton, it's like I was thinking, like, what did he call a black dude a cotton picker? Like, what's going on here?
Uh, I don't think there's much black people
Yeah, I
in
know.
in China. I don't think there's many black people in China to begin with, let alone in Xinjiang, which is
Yeah,
like a very, very rural part of China.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And if there are any black people in China, they're probably, somewhere else where they can't be seen.
Yeah,
You know.
maybe close to one of the major cities, but not in the cities, because well, there's tons of people and you can get spotted by anyone at any point. But at least close enough to major cities where you can get the resources that you possibly need for living and survival, etc.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, there's just like so cotton is the outrage because
Yes.
because I believe from what I'm hearing the brand is just known for not using cotton or something.
Again, there's not much context. It's just a brief summary. I'll have to go from one of the sources and say what they have to say about it.
Gotcha.
Alright. Alright. Here's what the BBC has to say. Uniqlo is facing online backlash in China after the boss of its parent company said the Japanese clothing retailer does not source cotton from Xinjiang.
Cotton from that city.
Xinjiang.
That city.
Uh,
Xinjiang.
Xinjiang.
Xinjiang. I am not saying it right, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I understand. Mandarin or any Chinese language is just very hard to pronounce because there's loads of tones that you need to get right on the nail. Because you could say one word, but how you say, like which tone, that's where it gets complicated. You could say cha, which means tea, although I may not say the tone right because I may not be saying tea, I could be saying something else. That's literally the point I'm making. Any language in China, there's literally tones. Any language in Oriental Asia, there's tones. You could say one syllable, but the tone can mean something else. One word in a downward tone could mean an animal. Neutral tone, you could talk about some kind of action, and an upward tone can just be a description of an individual. That's the differences. Saying one syllable, but different tones. It could be, there's so many, but there's so many ways you could see things.
That's true. That is so true. All right. So, well, I hope they're not lying. That's all I can say.
Well, there's not much we can say or do.
Yeah.
Like, they know what they're getting themselves into. When you're in business, yes, I understand. A lot of businesses are in the business to generate some kind of revenue, which they use that money to improve on the machinery to make the products that they're making. However, to go this far, to say, no, we're not doing this or that, even though you're already doing that anyway for who knows how long, that's going to come up to you at some point, and yeah, you need to sort out your finances and make sure you're invested in very good trading portfolios for the next decade or so, because that could be the end of your revenue money generation journey. Once you're done, you're done. You got to use whatever money you have left, live off the lamb, and yeah,
Right off into the sunset.
exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not really much we can say. Yeah, it's just, you know what you're doing if you are doing it. So just face the consequences, which they will not do.
Well, at least not yet. Or we're
Uh,
not sure how long it will be until they face the consequences, but when they do, everyone is going to talk about it. Especially when they talked about you know what with you know who, and what they shouldn't be doing, or what he shouldn't be done to begin with. Although he has all the connections somewhere in Hollywood.
are we talking about Mr. Baby Oil?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Anyways, hey, actually, let me just call him Mr. Baby Oil. No, that's terrible. Never mind.
No.
No. Are we talking about? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who you talking about? That's exactly who I'm on about.
Okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I think apparently he was denied bail 3 or 4 times, which
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them for denying him bail, but it is what it is though. He did it to himself.
Yes.
But
He
yeah,
knew what was coming.
moving on.
Moving on. Oh, hello there. What do we have here? Massachusetts lawmakers push for an effort to ban all tobacco sales over time.
Wait, what did he do?
Massachusetts lawmakers are pushing for a proposal to ban all tobacco sales over time, aiming to be the first state to adopt such a measure.
Oh,
If approved, the bill would prevent people too young to purchase tobacco from ever being able to buy it legally in Massachusetts.
oh, nice. I think they should push through with that ban because, well, for one, tobacco's not good for you. Second off,
Exactly.
yeah, look at the society we live in now, bro. Everyone is smoking tobacco or smoking weed or trees, as the kids say. No kid says that, but I say it. Anyways,
Fair enough.
it's like, but yeah, it's like we're smoking. Pretty much, yeah. I think like like banning tobacco is like a first step. Then ban weed altogether. Because frankly, it makes the mind slower, and it just makes the mind slower. It just makes you operate slowly, and it makes you like process things very slowly. We just turned you into a sloth, into a lazy sloth who just listens to like probably drill music, drill love songs, or whatever kids are listening to nowadays.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, my birthday's actually coming up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's like I think in Massachusetts, that's it's good that they're taking that measure though. Like
Yeah.
in all seriousness, like I think it'd be great for our society, and once again, it's like an extra band-aid to put on our world. I believe if like we just denied what we thought was right, and put God at the center, the bleeding would stop, and we would not, and we would actually be able to take off the band-aid. But unfortunately, we're never going to really take off the band-aid. All we can do is just stop some of the bleeding, and I believe that this will stop some of it. One state at a time, though.
Yes.
All right. What about you?
Well, you know, out of all states, good on Massachusetts.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're going ahead with this.
honestly, I'd be more impressed if New York did it, because, well, I'm from New York, and yeah, we need to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it would, like, get some of these corner stores that sell, like, tobacco just out of here. That's just me, though. But, anyways, what else is there?
Vernon-based Tolko shutting down multiple mills over Christmas holidays.
Huh. How come?
High fiber costs, poor weather conditions during harvest, and weak North American lumber and plywood markets are forcing an early end-of-year closure at multiple Tolko lumber plants in British Columbia. Tolko spokesperson Chris Downey said employees were notified this week of the mill's taking downtime at their operations throughout the province.
Huh. It's interesting. I wonder how that's gonna affect people in the long run.
Yeah,
Honestly, what do you think about that?
well, it's quite surprising because Canada, there is so much forestry, there's so much vegetation. No wonder there aren't many people in Canada. It's so sparsely populated. Most of the people that live in Canada, it's just in the peninsula where Toronto is, like close to Michigan. And the rest up north is just very, very empty. There's so much, I think there's so much space for like growing lumber and other kinds of woods. So I find it surprising that there is a mill just saying, okay, we're closing shop now. Like, even though there's so much lumber that could be produced in the country. Now, if they're talking about specific species of tree or lumber, can't argue with that. But generally, there, there, I, there's so much industry that Canada can utilize in regards to lumber and trees, or just vegetation in general. There's so much land that Canada has,
I,
like to use to their advantage.
yeah, that's true. And I would say Canada has so much potential. There has so many resources, has so many things. It's just that it needs the right leadership. That's about it. It needs the right leadership to put them in the right direction. And I say Canada. I'm not gonna insult Canada. I think it has its quirks, but so does the United States. So does every other country in the world as we speak. I mean, in South Korea, I'm pretty sure the birth rate is not as high, isn't it?
Uh,
Or Japan.
what's high?
Like I'm pretty sure. Like I said, every country has its quirk, and I said South Korea. I'm pretty sure the birth rate is not that high, right?
No, I don't think it's high.
Yeah.
But I've heard recently that it's on the rise just a bit, but
Well,
yeah,
that's good.
it's still not good in terms of birth rates.
Well, that's good. I mean, as long as they keep on being on the rise, then that's good. That's great. I mean, just hopefully the people there can keep as people would say. I don't know if they say it in South Korea, raising up the women and having kids. But and getting married, having happy kids who look exactly like them. I mean, I'm pretty sure for the most part there aren't any other races there. So hey, you know, whatever they got to do, keep on doing it. But yeah, for the most part, Canada can be a powerhouse. It just needs the right leadership, and or it just needs to join in with the United States. Simple as that. But anything else?
Like, okay, this is pretty dumb, but it's still funny though, nonetheless.
Okay,
The joke was, why was 6 afraid of 7? The answer, because 7, 8, 9. But here comes the darker side of the joke. And why was 10 afraid? The answer, because it was in the middle of 9/11.
I saw that joke before. Wow,
Yeah,
that is dark because it was in the middle of 9/11.
yes. And that was a day in American history that, well, people have no words how to describe it.
I wonder what's the joke with why is 11 afraid of 12?
Oh, do you know the answer?
I don't.
Okay,
Anyways, yeah, that is a pretty dark joke though. Whew. I think
yeah,
I think I saw that before on Twitter, Twitter X Twitter, Twitter X. Anyways, yeah, I saw that before, and
yeah.
yeah, it's a dark joke, but it's ultimately clever. I'll be
Yeah, it
honest.
is.
I would say a couple years too late, but it's here. I don't know if that joke was even a thing back then, but I would say it's a couple year. If not, it's just when was 9/11? 2001, right?
It was 2001, yeah.
Yeah, literally decades late. But
Yeah.
you know,
Why now are we talking about this joke?
yeah, I mean, it would have been it would have served as a dark joke. It would have been better if I actually know that joke is it's clever, but it's not good. The joke probably would have been best suited a year after 9/11 or the year of 9/11. still terrible, but still terrible. They're a terrible tasting joke during that time, but it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you came up with something for it. But yeah, a clever joke. What else is there?
OnePlus teases a budget phone that outpaces a flagship.
I'm sorry, what?
It's been a few weeks since it was officially introduced back in China. It, however, seems that the smartphone maker isn't quite done yet. An upcoming OnePlus smartphone with the model number CPH2645 and quote pineapple as the motherboard identifier recently visited a benchmarking platform. My Smart Price was the first to spot the Geekbench visit, and later, loading up the article, they don't say much, do they? Digital Trends came across a total of 5 benchmark runs carrying the same device signature, all listed on the same date. The benchmark logs, assuming they are accurate, confirm some juicy information about OnePlus' next budget phone. So they're saying it's pretty promising what they're coming up with.
Huh. Okay. I wonder, like, what it would offer.
Well, it's going to offer a lot of something.
Yeah, I mean, like, if they're coming up with, like, a great new phone, I mean, what makes it different? Because it's like, I feel like when it comes to phones, especially iPhones, they've been nothing but the same, just like, different apps and different emojis and different features. What will the phone actually offer? What will the phone actually look like? Will the phone be different? Will the phone be like a modern day, like, will the phone have like a mini modern day keyboard on it? Like, what will it have? You know how those, like, Blueberry or BlackBerry phones?
Yeah, the BlackBerry phones.
Yeah, they have that keyboard. Like, will it have?
Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be cool if, like, modern day phones had that. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. But so what can it really offer? Or if they could somehow digitalize that. Yeah, I mean, like, with the phone flipping, like, like a BlackBerry, or yeah, with like a BlackBerry phone. They can somehow digitalize that, and, like, then that'd be pretty cool. But what will it offer?
There's only one way to find out. In
Yep.
the next few weeks.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. the next few. Sorry. Yeah, the next few weeks, like, when it comes, like, until it comes out, like, there's only one way to find out. Maybe they'll drop some teasers. I'm not really sure. But for the most part, what do you hope it has, or what do you think it'll have?
Well, I've heard that this next phone is going to use Snapdragon, and well, I don't hear much about Snapdragon, but hearing its name every now and then, I know they're doing something good, and something that benefits the phones that use them. So I can't argue with that.
Yeah, that's true. You really can argue with progress. I say I really do hope they make that progress. And yeah, I wish them the best of luck.
Yes.
So, is there anything else, or?
I think that's it.
All right. All right.